let's try this again, you guys. If this doesn't work this way, I think I might try to open up a room. I don't know if that's different or the same or whatever. Let's just all cross our fingers that this is going to work because I know that you guys are antsy for this. I'm antsy for this. Okay, awesome. Trina says that I sound better. Apparently, I guess it was my earbuds that were doing this. Usually they are helpful. Yay, you guys can hear me now. Okay. I'm not going to go through the whole introduction again. But for those of you listening on replay, I am Jessica Wolf. I'm a mom. I used to work in education. When the pandemic hit, I decided to take my baking business full time. I've been baking since 2018, taking orders since 2019, and now I specialize in logo cookies and wedding cakes. And I am now starting to do stencils. Yes, I will talk about like the meat and potatoes. I haven't really gotten into the meat and potatoes. I just introduced myself basically. So good thing is we didn't miss a whole lot. But yeah, so now I'm also dabbling in like making stencils and, well, I love making stencils. I am good at making stencils, but I'm dabbling in making stencils. So, that's a whole other bear to learn how to market. So that'll be a learning process for me. Okay, so now the meat and potatoes part of it. What I was saying is I was inspired by Jessica Gensel, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, her live where she talked about reverse calendaring and taking your end date for an order or a pre-sale or a pop-up or something like that and working backwards with your dates and figuring out what you need to do when. And I know that there are project management softwares like Asana that you can do this and set up templates where it'll auto-populate all of your dates and your to-do lists and things like that. But I am a cheapo and I do not want to pay for Asana. And you can only use the templates on Asana if you pay for it. So I decided instead to mess around with other ways to do it, and I figured out for me that using Google Sheets or Excel, again, I'm a cheapo, so I don't pay for Excel, I use Google Sheets. I found that was the most helpful way for me to reverse calendar. So I'm going to give you a preview of what our spreadsheet is going to look like at the end. So you see I have all these tabs down here for the different holidays. I'll tell you what I use the color coding for. And actually my colors are actually wrong on some of these. But this is Halloween. I've got Halloween, all of my to-do items here, and it auto-populates by date. So let me put August 1st, 22, and it'll change all of these dates depending on my end date. So Control Z, I've got to put that backwards because it stressed me out. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like at the end. I am going to show you, that was bothering me, from the beginning how to set this up yourself. And then I also had a few extra minutes before this started, and it turns out they weren't extra minutes, and I should have been seeing if live was working because it wasn't. But I made kind of not a template, but a list of these tasks that I do for different types of events that I will share in the group after this is over. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, and I apologize if you hear any sounds because my husband and my son were just out on a walk and now they're coming back and my 2-year-old's going to come in here and want my attention for a second. So hopefully that doesn't interrupt too much and you guys will bear with me. Anyway, so you're going to open a new tab. I'm using Google Chrome. I don't think this has to be Google Chrome for this to work, but you're going to just type in docs.new, and it's going to get, that's like a little shortcut to opening a new doc. Actually, it should be sheets.new because we're not using Google Docs, we're using Google Sheets. So we have an untitled spreadsheet here, And hopefully you guys are going along with me. If you're not, no biggie. You can rewatch this later and go along and do it later. Take some notes now, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and title mine template reverse. Oh, you know what? Template presale calendar, something like that. Okay. Alright, so my first event, let's just go ahead and do Halloween. I know, it feels like it's really far away, but when you build this out, it's going to not feel that far away. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do over here is type out my event. So we have Halloween. And now, down below this, we need to list out all of our steps like I have it here. We're going to even do, oh, we'll do green. Okay, that sounds good. Oh, I don't like it. Hold on, I gotta go back. We'll just do this. Here comes my son. Oh no, he's crying. It's not going to be good. Woo! Sorry. Okay. So we're going to list out our steps here. In the little template that I was talking about, so like you're going to have different steps for different events. So Halloween, I do a pre-sale, right? Other events you might do this for is a flash sale, a pop-up, or maybe even if you wanted to just do some event planning for yourself. This applies to your personal life. I'm using it to plan my 30th birthday party. Woo-woo. And another one that I use it for is kind of like SEO. So I have used Google Trends. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Hey. Oh, hi, honey. Are you okay? Did you not enjoy your time? Thank you. Oh, poor baby.
You doing class?
Huh?
You doing class?
I am. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know, he's crying. He probably tripped or something. He's an emotional guy lately. He's 2, so if anybody's ever had a 2-year-old, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so SEO, what I was talking about is I have looked into like Google Trends to see when people are most likely to search for wedding cakes and for logo cookies or office gifts or things like that. And I have built that out into my calendar down here too. So like wedding cakes, there's a peak in the summer and there's a peak in the winter. And so there's only like 4 steps here, but yeah, so I use it for that as well. The goal being there to like post a lot about wedding cakes and post a lot of my work of wedding cakes, so that if somebody's searching wedding cakes in Cincinnati, Ohio, or wedding baker Cincinnati, Ohio, my business is one of the ones that's in the top results, ideally. I'm not an expert at SEO, I'm learning, but that is my little plan there. So anyway, the steps that I'm going to list out for a pre-sale are, let's see, I have a list because I didn't want to switch back and forth between the screens. Alright, so I'm going to work backwards. So Halloween is 10/31/22. I'm going to work backwards. So this is going to be like cutting off sales, and way down here is going to be shop for supplies and make samples and things like that. Okay, so my first step that I'm going to write is cut off sales. The next one is going to be end early bird pricing. And I'm not worried about making this too pretty right now. Honestly, I obviously don't worry about making it too pretty. I'm more worried about it being functional. Because I'm not sharing this with my clients. It's just for me. Okay. Cut off sales. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure there were no comments or questions. And if there are, I am so sorry. Okay, just making sure, because my phone is being slow. Okay, end early bird pricing. First post. So between these 2 steps, are going to be more posts. This is just when I'm going to do my first post, okay? But I don't, if you want to, you can say first post, second post, third post, and you can get really detailed in between these two lines here. Feel free to, but for me, this is what works, is just saying, hey, this is the deadline for the first post that I'm making about Halloween. Okay, my next one is email. So I utilize email marketing. We've all seen how Facebook and Instagram glitch and crash, so I do not depend on them. I make sure that I'm utilizing my email list as much as possible. So that's when my first email is going out. My email goes out before my first post because that's the perk of being on my email list. Alright, and you guys are going to think I am crazy because I also have a VIP group. And that one is a hard one to do because the benefits of these two are pretty similar. But I keep the VIP group, and usually what I do is give them a little discount in addition to being like the first people to know. So that's my VIP group post. And then my next thing is photos and samples. And then my next one is order supplies. And then plan, offerings, and shop. So shopping for different supplies. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Again, not to make it pretty, just making it functional here. Alright, so now we are going to get into the automated part of this. So this is annoying to set up, but once you have it set up, it is going to serve you well down the road, okay? So for me, cutoff sales would be a week before typically. Alright, pay attention to this part, and let me get my formula out here just to make sure that I get everything right. Actually, I'm going to insert left. You saw that I had check marks here. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert those now. So you're going to go to, highlight it, insert, checkbox. I was going to do that later, but it's going to throw my formula off if I don't do it now. Completely optional. I just find this helps because when I go through and I do these things, I can check them off. And who doesn't like a good checklist? Okay, now we're getting into the formula. So you're going to go into your cell here of C2. And disclaimer, I'm not 100% sure if the formula is the same on Excel, but you should be able to Google it or try it and see how that goes. Or you can just use Google Sheets because it's free and it's excellent. Not sponsored. Alright, so cut off sales. We're going to do, select that cell. We're going to hit equal, and then it's work day. And I've tried to make it just by day, but it only does it with work day. So it's only counting Monday through Friday. So if I want to cut off sales for Halloween 1 week before Halloween, I need, that is technically 5 work days, right? So I'm going to, I have the work day and then open parentheses. I'm going to select this date here, which is C1. Yeah, is that right? How did I do it over here? Okay, I have this header here. It doesn't matter. Just go up here and select this date. I had written down the formula, and my formula says C2 because I have this header over here, but you get the point. You can just select it, easy peasy, and then comma minus 5. So that would be, that's 5 work days, which means 1 week. All right, so close parentheses, and it auto-populates 1 week before this. This can get a little sticky with You know, if your event's on a weekend, sometimes you might need to adjust it, but I pretty much just stick with the days that I have. Okay, so with that, we're going to go down to end early bird pricing. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm literally just going to copy this, paste it, but instead of 5 days, I want 10 days because that's 2 weeks. Oh, look, it's suggesting autofill. No, thank you. So that's 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before my event, I'll cut off early bird pricing. That's typically when I tack on rush fees for customs, so I figured that would work for my early bird pricing. Alright, now this is going to be the big jump because your first post is going to be quite early. We're going to go with the miracle recommended time of 6 weeks. Alright, so 6 weeks beforehand is your first post. Actually, let's see. 6 weeks beforehand, I want to do my VIP group, and this is actually what I do. So I'm going to actually just type that in, and so 6 times 5 is 30, right? Yeah. 6 weeks times 5 days per week is 30. So we want this to be minus 30, and that gives us our 6 weeks. Isn't that crazy? You're posting about Halloween in like middle of September. That's wild. That feels right though. But when you get into like Easter and you're posting at Easter around Valentine's Day and stuff, it kind of feels a little shaky. Anyway, so that's my VIP group post. Because I just feel like anything earlier than 6 weeks is kind of a bit much for me. So then maybe the next day is when I'll send out my email. So I'm going to do minus 29. And in reality, I usually space these out maybe more like 2 days apart, but I'm thinking about changing it to 1 day apart just because I don't think it makes too much of a difference. And I think it'll make my VIP group and my email people, you know, step it up and get on the ball game here. Anyway, that's an aside. Thank you for being a part of my meeting, my staff meeting here. Alright, so first post, we're going up here, and I want it to happen the day after the email goes out. Those email people need to know, hey, this is going live tomorrow. I need to get on this today. So I'm going to do minus 28. Alright, and so you have your 3 days in a row here posted out. Alright, so if I am posting my first post in the VIP group on 9/19, which is 6 weeks out, I need to maybe start getting my samples and my photos ready a week or 2 beforehand. So I'm going to copy and paste my formula right in here, but instead of 6 weeks, I want it to be 8 weeks, which is like 40. I think I would know this, but you know. We do 2 plus 2 in this household. Okay, thanks. This is why I have formulas. So I want to have my samples and pictures taken by the 5th of September. I know it feels super early, but you will be thanking yourself when you are not making these plans a week before Halloween. So I'm going to need supplies for those things, right? So we're going to go down here and I'm going to have my supplies ordered another week before that so that, you know, Cookie Countess can get my stuff in. They're pretty good about shipping. So it's going to be a week before that. We're already into August. Isn't that wild? So we're going to say another week before that, we are going to plan our offerings and what we want to do and start shopping. So that gives us a week to shop. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? I'm going to keep talking because I know it's going to take a minute for that to come through on live. So now we have our schedule posted out. And like I said, this is for a pre-sale. It's going to look different for a flash sale or a pop-up. Let me come over here and show you. So I'm doing a flash sale for Memorial Day. I literally decided to do this this week. So none of this is done. But oh no, wait. Let's go to this one. Which one did I have it set up? There we go. Nope, that's not it either. Sorry, guys. Oh, I know what I did. I had it in the template that I made for you guys. I had the flash sale listed out a little bit differently, where instead of cutting off sales and ending the early bird pricing, it's more like teaser post, flyer, teaser, you know, things like that. And instead of photos and samples, you're going to have a flyer that you need to make. And get that circulating, things like that. Make an event on Facebook, stuff like that, okay? All right, I hope I'm making sense now. I don't see any questions coming through, and the live has caught up to where I am talking. So, let's see what's next. Okay. So we've chosen the time frame of how we wanted to do things, and like I said, this is just a suggestion. You do not have to do this time frame. You do not have to do all of these things. Just think about what you usually do for a pre-sale, or what you would like to do to prep for a pre-sale. And you can use this for actually doing your orders as well. So, you know, I want to bake 3 days beforehand. I want to decorate 2 days beforehand. I want to bag and box the day before, and photos and all that stuff. So you can use this in any way you would like, really. Okay, so I have this ready for Halloween. It's all set to go, but I also have Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to duplicate it. So we have copy of Halloween down here. I'm going to rename to Thanksgiving. This is the U.S. Thanksgiving. So if anybody's outside the U.S., welcome to Thanksgiving. So when is Thanksgiving this year? It's the 24th. So I'm going to put 11/24. And who's ready for the magic? We're going to hit enter, and it's going to change all these dates. All these things are the same things that need to be done for Thanksgiving, but with new dates that reflect this end date. Okay? I hope that makes sense, and you can, you know, change it how you need to. Okay, so next on my agenda here is adding these little checkboxes. I already showed you how to do that. You see over here that I have this little list over here too. Like I said, it's not labeled or anything like that. Functional over, you know, fashion over here. So I'm just going to show you what I did there. Is I like to just have another little checklist running over here. So insert checkbox. I'm going to double click that to make that resize. And, you know, I'm thinking about Thanksgiving or whatever event. Say it's September already, and I'm planning what I want to do. So I want to do a platter. I want to do a DIY kit. I want to do name cards, things like that. And then I can go over here and say, okay, my platter is going to be $5,000. You know, these are just helping you plan these things. You can make your list of ideas. You can check off the ones that you decide to do. Maybe I say no to the name cards. It's too much work. And then out here you can say, after the event, you can say, you know, how many did you sell? So at $5,000 for that platter, I sold one to my grandma. She was very happy with her platter. Sorry, that's going to stress me out. Okay. And, you know, add up here, insert row above, you know, idea, price, quantity. And then that also helps you keep track of what you did last year. So I've been using this calendar pretty much since the beginning of this year. I want to say since Valentine's Day. So like Easter, I have these written out, and I actually didn't write how many I sold, but I should have. But I did. Look, I sold 3. I only sold 3 of those egg carton paint your own things, okay? But then I have my price here. I listed what, you know, different coupons I had going on, different options I had for this cake. And it says I didn't sell any, but I did sell that lemon raspberry cake. It was delish. So So yeah, so next year, which I've already plugged in my date for Easter for next year, I can look back and say, okay, what did I do last year? What worked? What didn't? And then make my plan from there. Okay? And I'm going to show you in here as well how my color coding works. Like I said, my color coding is wrong on here because I should have turned this to green by now, so I'm going to just do that right now. Again, welcome to my staff meeting, party of one. Okay, so basically how I use the color coding down here, and you don't have to do this, this is me just being a little extra. I have ADHD, this just helps my brain a little bit. Obviously these are in order of like the dates, you know, Memorial Day comes before Father's Day, stuff like that. This makes me feel so unorganized. It's going to change the game completely for me. Well, I hope so. I mean, I've been pretty unorganized for the most part, and if you see, like, I'm not that organized. I just made this, and then this has been really helpful for me to visualize what I need to do, and then I can put it on, you know, a calendar, Google event, or whatever. So I'm hoping this will help you guys too. So anyway, back to the color coding. Talk about ADHD. The yellow here, how I categorize this is I turn it yellow when I've entered this date. So, you know, 3/21, okay, I need to start planning for Memorial Day. I need to start planning for Father's Day, whatever. So I've hit that date, that start date, and it's yellow. And then when I hit the date of first post here, meaning, okay, I've gone, you know, public with this, I can put it on my website, I can, you know, post stories about it, things like that, I turn it green. So, honestly, Father's Day needs to be green, too. I'm not that great at keeping up with this, but at least not the colors. But you see what I'm saying. So, then when I look here, I'm like, okay, these are the events down here that I need to be thinking about. And these are the events that I need to be actively marketing. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I had anything else on my list of what I wanted to talk about. No, that was it. The last thing I had to talk about was saving, you know, your events from this year till next year. You know, don't delete what you've done. No need to reinvent the wheel for next year. Just use the same formula and keep on trucking. Okay? Nobody steal my ideas. Okay, just kidding. I don't even know if it's gonna happen. It's already Monday and I haven't done anything for it. Alright, well, I'm going to stay on here to see if anybody has any more questions. And if not, then we can sign off and I will post my little template. It's not as much as this because I really want you guys to go in here and use this into the event. But you're probably going to have to change this cell depending on how you set it up, okay? And then I also kind of made a little list of, you know, just examples of events that you might use this for, excuse me, and those lists that might go with those events. Alright, I'm here. So there's a separate sheet for each pre-sale. That's what's at the bottom. Yes. So this whole thing, I guess, is called like a book. And then these are sheets. Yeah. Good question, Susan. Not Susan Reed Susan, just Susan. Susan, sweet Susan. But yeah, so those are different sheets. That helps me keep it organized. If you want to, you can just like copy, paste, and just keep them all in the same one. That does not work for me, but if that works for your brain, have at it. Would you mind sharing the flash sale again? What about the flash sale? Like the events? Let me go into my drive. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the... Let's go. I'm almost full. Need to buy storage. Just kidding. Template, presale calendar. Wait, is that the one I just made? Yes. There we go. This is the one that I've made for you guys. And so down here I've got flash sale, pre-sale, SEO, pop-up. And so these are the events that I suggest. What is the formula that you are equal workday, open parenthesis, C2, which is this date, your end date, comma, minus, and then whatever day that you want to use. So minus 5 is a week. So that's 5 work days. So that's minus a week. Down here, minus 10 is 2 weeks. Minus 28, that's 4 weeks. Wait, no, 4 weeks. No, 5 weeks and some change. Sorry. Ugh, I changed to my 7. You get it. And I will, Trina, I will post that as well in the event to make sure that you guys have it and that you don't have to hunt through the replay to find it. Are there any more questions? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and post this now while I wait to see if anybody has any questions. You are welcome, Trina. Just going to stay on here for another second here. You are welcome, Linda. All right, if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the live, and then I will share this with you guys. I'll probably just download it and upload it as a file. All right, you guys have a wonderful week, and I hope that this serves you well. Bye-bye.